Well, good afternoon, fellow testers. At Star West, I did a session, lightning session, on 9 surefire ways to inject fear into your culture. And it was kind of a hit, I think, so I decided to do a sequel to that instead of a total leftover this time. And so, this morning when Andy was talking about motivation, okay, and I totally agree that it's really hard to motivate someone externally. However, I do believe it's entirely possible to demotivate people personally and from the external. So with a lot of sarcasm going on here, I hope you'll find what I say helpful, because over the years I've been teaching people maybe how to motivate people, and none of that's working, okay? So it's like that episode of Seinfeld where George does just the opposite and everything works, okay? So hopefully that will be something you can try, and I'm going to put a little bit of my sarcasm in here. Number 10, in David Letterman style, is to set unreasonable stretch goals just to see how hard people will work. Now, it really doesn't matter what the goal is. It doesn't really even matter what the deadline is. Your job is to set them on this task to see just how long they will keep doing this. Now, if you really want to have some fun, try overlapping stretch goals. Okay, that's even better. Okay. Number 9, never explain your rationale for decisions. Reasons? We don't need those stinking reasons. I mean, think about your parents. You can just say, just because I said so. It works for this situation as well. In fact, I think it's good mental exercise that people can kind of work out on their own why you're doing all these irrational things. You don't have to tell them. Number 8, assign meaningless tasks. Well, the most important thing about work is that you look busy. Even if it's meaningless work, you got to be doing something. And, whether it's writing a PowerPoint presentation for your manager so that they can impress their boss, or whether it's testing till 6 o'clock at night, it doesn't really matter. Just look busy when people walk by, and that's the most important thing. Now, number 7, as a personal favorite, no matter how good something is, criticize it. Go get yourself a big red Sharpie marker and just knock yourself out. Mark it up all over the place, and don't focus on the content, okay? Don't focus on the main idea. Focus on things like sentence structure, words you don't like the and that. Mark it up, and before long you'll find that, you'll have people so demotivated that they won't even try to deliver a good product at first. They know whatever they give you, they're going to get it marked up. Number 6, take all the credit for yourself. This team is your creation, right? I mean, you're the one that started all this. And so this is especially important to remember come bonus time, because otherwise, you may have to suffer financially for this. Now, one helpful tip here is whenever you meet with senior management, go alone. that may help. And number 5, solve your problems by building a new bureaucracy. Now, remember, there are no simple problems, only simple people, and no simple solutions, only simple people. But hey, you're much more complex than that, right? You're able to deal with complex problems with complex answers. And so, you can design forms, you can define processes, and you can even write spreadsheets. So put all this in motion, and, keep one thing in mind, though. You're going to have a way to know if people are actually following these processes, right? So you need a secret team of spies to infiltrate the organization just to make sure that people are doing what you tell them to do. Number 4, listen like a brick wall. So the trick here really is to make people think you're listening, but you're really not. So, look them right in the eye, nod approvingly, kind of like when they do these TV interviews, and then let your mind run wild. It's like ADD moment. You can be thinking of the NBA playoffs, you can be thinking of weekend plans, Osama bin Laden, you name it. You just let yourself go. Number 3, what is number 3? Oh, refuse to consider ways to do the job more effectively. This is one of my personal favorites. You know, just like reasons. Tools, we don't need no stinking tools either. You know, we don't have money for tools. And then they say, well, you know, we can't afford all the fancy tools. So you say, what about free tools? And they say, oh, we can't use free tools. We have to follow the rules. You know, we have rules about those. Training, we had a class 5 years ago. Didn't you pay attention? You know, that's a good one. And, you know, can't you people remember anything? What about a learn at lunch session? Won't work, you know. You guys are working through lunch today. Remember point number 8, always be busy. Number 2, treat your team like they're machines that should never break down. I mean, really, you know, where do these people get off calling in sick? Don't they understand they have a presentation to write for me so I can look good today? I mean, I just don't get that. And don't even get me started about the bathroom breaks. And final, drum roll please, everybody. Never ever, in any circumstance, give anyone any praise or recognition. Otherwise, people would start to feel hope and happiness. Kind of like this morning when we saw the kids with their luggage going out to the buses, you know. Thank you, thank you. Now, thank you. So remember, if you never praise anyone, really, you don't have to insult them. You'll just ignore them, and they'll eventually leave, and you can hire someone else and demotivate them. Thank you very much.